this date in music history. I did not realize this until just a moment ago. 1981, Super Freak, released by Rick James.
I think I read somewhere also American Pie, the movie American Pie. Oh, yesterday.
Was yesterday.
25 years ago, yesterday, American Pie was released. Good movie. 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've enjoyed all the American Pie movies, but nothing better than the first American Pie. Second one was pretty good. Second one was pretty good, too.
Are we ever going to get a list of your top 100 movies of all time?
Oh, boy.
That might take you a while because there's so many movies you like.
No. I don't think that wouldn't work as good for radio.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work as good for radio.
What about just songs in general?
I would never be able to do that.
Because there's too many songs you like.
I'm just too much of a fan of music.
Yeah.
Like TV themes, to me it was actually kind of easy. It just got hard when I was like, okay, now I got to fill 80 through 100, the final 20. I was like, so what gets left out, you know? Which, by the way, that countdown continues at 5:40. Top 100 TV themes of all time, 40 through 36 today. By the way, tomorrow here on the show, 24 hours from now is No Stone Unturned. It's our No Stone Unturned show. So Eric Wolford will be he's back in town once again for their big event this weekend, and he'll be joining us. He's no longer at Alabama. He's now the O-line coach at Kentucky. And Curry Sexton will be in studio. There's potentially one more player, but we're not exactly sure if he's going to be available or not to make an appearance here in studio. But we'll find out tomorrow. So make sure we tune in at 5:10 when we catch up with those guys and talk No Stone Unturned. And, of course, the Gamey Awards, the official ceremony, is coming up on Friday's show. Next week, we're off all of next week. We have no show next week. I'm going on vacation. I think AJ's heading out for a while, and it's also All-Star break. So it's kind of when everybody kind of takes a break for a little while.
Right.
Okay, let's get to Avery Johnson. And once again, I want to thank our friends at KSN Online for the audio, as we could not make it to Big 12 Media Day this year in Las Vegas. Avery Johnson had a lot to say about this upcoming season, 2024, and how there's now a little bit more pressure on his shoulders. He has told us before, as a matter of fact, I remember the first time we talked to him as an official player for K-State about he's never been that nervous type of guy, but he's certainly aware now he is the starting quarterback for the K-State Wildcats.
Definitely a different feel, but not a different approach. Definitely feel like I have more eyes on me. A lot of people looking at me because I had to take a different leadership role this year. But as far as preparation, I mean, like, the work is the work. I'm going to continue to work hard and then just let the games just kind of come as is.
Now, he is not going to be playing for the offensive coordinator that initially recruited him. Now, I can't speak for Connor Riley. Maybe he did have something to do with it. I'm sure there was a group effort involved with Avery Johnson. I know Avery had a steak or two at Colin Klein's house. But now working not only with Connor Riley, but also a new quarterback coach in Matt Wells.
He's grown a bunch. I love Coach Wells and everything he's about. He's a really down-to-earth person. His office door is always open. I can go in there whenever I need to. And just being able to talk ball and kind of chop it up with him about stuff like that has been a lot of fun.
If you ever get a chance to meet Coach Wells, get to talk to him, hopefully he has a few minutes for you to actually just have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I knew once Matt Wells was hired and he had his own press conference when he got the job, and us media got to chat with him, just get to know him. He shared some stories, which I'm not going to share on the air. They're not my stories to tell. Once that all took place, I knew that anybody on that staff and on that roster, everybody's going to have a great relationship with Matt Wells. He just seems like a really easy guy to get along with, and he has that personality you just gravitate towards. When he gets to telling stories, he's one of those guys, like, once he gets to telling stories, you want him to tell more stories. You don't want to go anywhere. You could sit there all day and listen to Matt Wells' stories. And I knew Avery and Matt Wells were going to have a good relationship. Those are two strong personalities that will get along quite well. There was no concern there at all. Avery's take on the offense in 2024.
I feel like it's going to be different, but it's going to be similar in a lot of ways. Obviously, like you said, like new OC, we have a co-coordinator, a lot of guys, a lot of different heads putting together that play sheet. But we got added Dylan to the mix. DJ's DJ, man. He doesn't get a lot of respect. He's ready to put the nation on notice this year. So we got a lot of new faces, a lot of great talent, a lot of underrated talent at receiver, and then I'm really excited for this offensive line. Like, it's a new bunch, but it's not a young bunch. It's a lot of people that have played college football before, and we have great leadership at the offensive line position. So I'm excited to let those guys get out there and do their thing.
Man, from what I've said heading into the season, I know we still got a long way to go, but we've talked obviously a lot about the Cats this week. The whole thing about DJ and being overlooked and being disrespected, 100% he is.
Mm-hmm.
The Big 12 is pretty stacked at running back, but I think DJ's overlooked just because he didn't have as many yards as a particular player, or his yards per carry were like 0.4 behind the leading guy, for most of the season.
Right.
It's just a few numbers that are slightly off, but because of that, DJ can't be, all Big 12 preseason running back, or even second team if there was a second team. I don't think he would land on the second team because, if one number has DJ as the fifth best running back in the Big 12, another maybe at 3, but that other number is more attractive, because we're talking about total yards, guys.
Right.
We're not talking about, how many carries he had or the more of a workload that he had, and he still pulled it off and scored 16 touchdowns, or whatever. I don't remember how many touchdowns DJ had. It wasn't 16, but he still had quite a bit. He's – I'm telling you. But when you add Dylan Edwards, and I said this yesterday, when you add Dylan Edwards, just the rushing attack as a whole becomes one of the best in the nation. And that's where we get back to Avery Johnson, because he and Dylan are boys.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a little bit behind getting Dylan Edwards to K-State.
I was so excited. Like, when his name first hit that portal, I gave him a call, and I was like, we got to get you on campus this weekend. We ended up getting him, and Coach Kleiman just told me get it done this weekend. So I told him everything we were about, and he bought into it. And I think he's really happy with the decision he made, and we're going to be really, really explosive.
I don't think Avery had to, build a PowerPoint and bring the best sales pitch that he could possibly bring to the table.
What? Really?
They know each other.
Oh, come on.
Dylan was once
really?
committed to K-State after he was committed to Notre Dame, was still taking visits to Manhattan. There was a lot of work that was already done. I'm sure Dylan, the whole time he was at Colorado, had K-State in the back of his mind.
Oh, I mean, how could you not be watching what's going on?
All right. Another clip here from Avery Johnson. One more about the team here. The young running backs. Not the running backs, rather. The young wide receivers that stood out to Avery during spring ball.
Sterling Lockett had a really good spring, and Trace Spivey had a really good spring. Those guys, Sterling did a really good job in the slot this spring, and I feel like he's going to have a pretty good fall. And then Trace Spivey was showing up on a whole bunch of explosive plays. I'm excited to see what those guys bring to the team this season.
I've been hearing Sterling Lockett's name now for 3 years about his potential and about how well he's been at practice in his growth. I mean, is this year finally the year that we see Sterling Lockett in meaningful snaps? I certainly hope so, because that just means, obviously better things for the wide receiver room and the wide receiver depth, because you're going to be looking at some young guys to certainly step up. If you want that true rotation, it has to be. Right. I say young guys. Really, Sterling Lockett's not a young guy anymore. He's just young with his experience.
Right.
So that's where that room is. It just kind of has to happen. That's, to me, and it's not the most necessary thing in the world, thanks to the transfer portal and how K-State's been able to go and get a couple of wide receivers that hopefully will really take off this season, especially with Keegan Johnson just keeping them healthy. But you really hope that's maybe the one room. That's maybe my one room above any others. That when it comes to a young player, I'm really hoping, like a Jace Brown started to do last season, can really show up and take off. And if it is a Trace Spivey, I really hope it is. Because remembering his recruitment, and the film and what we knew about him, pretty special kid. And I'm not surprised to hear that name.
One of the things that I think is potentially underrated in the Dylan Edwards aspect of joining this roster is what pressure does he take off of the wide receiver room. The fact that you already have DJ Giddens as your top line running back, but you have Edwards who can be split out as a wide out and utilized in either role.
And don't forget about Garrett Oakley, tight end. You know.
Yep, exactly. You know. That's in the mix too. I mean, there are
plenty of options.
There are plenty of options, but I like the fact that there are those options because it relieves a lot of pressure on those wideouts to have to prove everybody wrong, and that is that they can do more than just be a group of guys that are out there. And it felt at times last year that it was just a group of guys at times.
Well, and it's been too long. Because, 2011 through 2014, that was a really good time for wide receivers at K-State. You had multiple guys that were superstars.
Yes.
It's been now a pretty long stretch without having a superstar wide receiver.
Yes, agreed.
So it's just, can this year be the year? Does K-State have a wide receiver that can get to 1,000 yards? Is there somebody on this roster that has that kind of talent? I would hope so. Mm-hmm. But does it show up this year, or at least you get the taste of it? Even, heck, 800 yards would be an absolute step in the right direction.
Sure.
All right, now here was the clip I've really been saving, and I kept the whole clip in here. It's about 50 seconds. Avery yesterday got to play college football 25. And he gave us a few details about what you can expect about K-State and the detail in the game about Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Here's Avery.
So we can't see our rating yet.
Okay.
Because if we saw our ratings and we leaked our ratings, then people lose jobs, I guess. So we just went in and played. I think I can tell you that the bill looked really realistic. Like, it was pretty much to a T. They got it's good for a Wildcat first down. They got the cat, roar, everything. The jerseys, they got all our alternate jerseys, all stuff like that. As far as, players looked, I feel like they looked to a part. I might have been a little buffer than I am in real life. I don't feel like I'm that buff. I feel like I'm a little bit more slim of a guy. But it was pretty accurate.
But you thought height, weight, hair, skin, all that looked
except for hair.
enough.
I didn't have hair.
Oh, okay.
Which EA will get a tweet about.
I put Avery Johnson's hair in the game. I've seen a lot of tweets about that.
Yeah, we joked about that yesterday. There was one player that was tweeting about it because he was bald.
I've seen multiple.
Okay.
I've seen multiple where players just don't have their hair. EA Sports is going to update the game as the season goes along. They're going to adjust ratings and skill set, numbers and all that stuff. That's going to be adjusted as the season goes. It'll be adjusted as, a player starts to take off and maybe have more talent. Under-evaluated or over-evaluated can be adjustment as well.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
You're not allowed to create players in that game, correct?
I don't know. I think there is. Maybe.
Because I was thinking you could create Lincoln Cure and throw them in the game for 2025. The 2025 season.
Just give them a bunch of 99s and 5 stars and all that stuff. So also in the middle of that clip, you heard Avery say there's good for a Wildcat first down in the game.
Uh-huh.
And I know EA Sports put a lot of detail per school in this game. That was a question I had weeks ago. They've shown in the trailer there's all this detail for the SEC schools, Big Ten, with the entrances and the environment. We haven't seen any of the bill in any of the trailers. Does K-State still get the same amount of love? I think they do. We've heard enough now that there's a lot of detail that the bill is captured in a great way. Mm-hmm. It should be in this video game. What you didn't hear in the clip is in the uniforms. Avery said he was playing K-State and they were in all white uniforms. You will get the Script Cats helmet, the white helmet in the game. You will get the pennant Willie on one side and the number on the other side, white helmet in the game.
Okay.
But for good for a Wildcat first down, I know they took a lot of the sound from actual K-State games and put it in the game. I am dying to know whose voice is on good for a Wildcat first
Did
down.
you wind up in the game without even knowing that you're in the game?
That's like, here's the deal. Because they went that far with the game,
Okay.
I'm going to have two reactions. If I'm in it, I'm going to cry. If I'm not, I'm going to be pretty upset with EA Sports that they put all this detail, but they couldn't put that one detail in for me.
If it's in the game, you need to get money from them.
He just wants a copy. That's all. Yeah.
Just get him a free copy, and then get one for me and Troy.
I've already bought one, but
I don't have a way of playing.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Remember when
we'll get you a free game system too?
EA said that they, were going to give every athlete $600 and a copy of the game, and a lot of people were pretty upset about that. How that's not enough, and they deserve more than that. Listen, most of these guys would do this for free.
Right.
90% probably would do this for free. Because it's pretty cool to be in a video game.
True that.
A video game. That would be freaking cool, man.
I just find it funny, though, that pretty much everybody is without hair. There are so many different hairstyles in college football.
But you don't notice them unless,
true.
In-game, got the helmet on, and it's, obviously coming out of the helmet.
The problem is that they do the full-blown identifying graphics on players, and so then you get the good look at the fact they don't have hair.
It'll be there. Avery, I promise you EA will make it right. It's on the list of things to do.
The question is, will they put any of it on fire when he takes off running?
Well, this is an NFL Blitz.
Oh, darn. Okay. It was a try. Come on.
All right, let's. But anyway,
what a reference.
When I heard that, though, I kind of replayed it a couple times. Like, did I miss a detail in there at all? Is that really what he said? I mean, I'm not surprised it's in the game, but now that we know it's in the game, I got to know whose voice is on it. So, Avery, Hadley, Brendan Mott, Marquise Siegel, Austin Moore. If anybody can reach out, let me know. Just let me know on Twitter. DM or whatever. Just let me know if you know whose voice it is. Because honestly, if it is the guy that did all the PA work for it, that's gonna be kind of lame, isn't it? All right, let's take a break. My second half of Gamey Award nominations coming up next. You can vote for the first 5 I've announced. That was in the first hour at Mitch the Ford on Twitter. Also retweeted at the Game KMAN Twitter account as well. Go vote. Those awards will be awarded in Friday's show. Our second half of the nominations coming up next.
This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
Five down, 5 to go.
And already the sharing has begun.
Gabby Gregory giving me a retweet. Appreciate it. Azure Gabgoat is up for Best New Artist. I mean, come on. And it's a close vote so far. Remember, folks, you get 25% of the vote. The other 75% is myself, Troy, and AJ.
I get to vote in this? I'm actually hyped now.
You're a part of the show.
I was going to mention, by the way, not Gabby Gregory, Gapgoat is a WWE Hall of Famer, too.
Oh, is it? It's in the hall? Got a ring and everything?
Well, it got the championship belt and everything, I know.
Oh, well.
I believe so.
That just means when you got the strap, I mean, you're top. You're a top guy.
You have seen what's in his office, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's an early 90s championship in the office. All right, we got 5 down, 5 to go on Gamey Award nominations. We're not officially awarding until Friday. We got 2 days to vote.
Mitch was wrestling lightweight at that time.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
when you got the belt, the WWE belt from the 90s. You were wrestling lightweight at the time.
Lightweight?
A child.
I thought you were taking a fat joke at me.
No, I was taking an age joke at you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, to be fair, I never. That was given to me. I never won it.
I mean, he literally was the literal baby face. He couldn't turn heel.
It is the best. It is the best belt in wrestling history, though. All right, you guys want some more nominations,
yes.
some more awards?
Yes,
yeah,
sorry, I'm detracted.
Rodgers.
Yes, I've turned us too far here. Yes.
Okay, next award we'll announce. We got 5 left to announce the nominations. Best upset. I really enjoy this award. It brings back some of the best moments in K-State sports from this past season. for the whole of the year. Some of the best moments. And by the way, the way I announce these, by the way, I got a little criticism for this, like I'm kind of ranking them as I announce them. Not true. I actually randomize every single thing on how I announce it, to be fair. So, all right.
He'll be trying that with lineups later this year.
Starting lineups?
Yeah.
No, I take that order very seriously. I asked Jerome Tang about that. He's like, oh, I don't care. Bruce Weber really cared.
Right.
Bruce,
yeah.
And so does Mitty. I think Mitty.
Some coaches see it as a good luck thing, and some don't.
Yeah. Okay, best upset nominee number 1, baseball winning a regional game at Arkansas.
Neighbors with the 2-2. Strikes out Stovall. The Cats are a win away from the Super Regional round. Neighbors goes 3 1/3. The Cats hanging on by a thread. Win it in Fayetteville.
Yeah, monster victory, especially with K-State playing against the best lefty in college baseball on the Hill that day.
Who will be a top 10 pick probably next week, actually.
Week, yeah.
Actually on Sunday. That's when the draft is.
Bring it.
Well, K-State may also have a first-round draft pick this year.
That's true.
So,
and he's going to the Chicago Cubs. I wish.
Where's the Cubs picking?
Please.
14th.
Yeah. They're not going to go that early for Kalen.
I mean, Wicks is already saddled with that problem.
Man, he's been hurt this year.
Yeah, but because he's playing for the Cubs.
Stop. No, that's not why.
But he was doing pretty well before he got hurt, wasn't he?
He was good last year. This year he was kind of But he's going to come back strong.
All right, second nominee for best upset. I threw in a bunch of upsets for this one because they all needed to be recognized. Volleyball sweeping BYU twice and also beating Texas in a sweep.
Just tapped over the net. K-State in system. Carter to end it.
Man, that crowd pop is probably my favorite of the season.
I don't know that you even could hear me on PA at that pop.
Yeah, did you announce anything, or did you just lay out? Like, I probably wouldn't have.
No, I got in a point Cats. But yes.
But no one heard you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's really cool you got to be there for that one. I still haven't been to a game at the Morgue yet. I know K-State doesn't like that name, but
I've got to work on finalizing a couple of things on some of that this year, too. I've been tardy. Man, my emails piled up.
All right, best upset nominee number 3, women's basketball wins at number 2, Iowa.
Clark, a long 3. It's short once more. The long rebound to Walker, and she's going to go up with it. K-State takes down Iowa, and take notice of these Cats.
I want to rewind for a second. I just talked about my favorite pop of the year. Actually, I think volleyball takes second on that list. So this I should have done a best pop award. The women's basketball game against Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Into the third quarter, Sundell gets the swat and the rebound. 5 seconds, clock's ticking. She's not dribbling, but you have Walker who's running up the floor, begging for the basketball. Great pass from Serena. And it's basically a catch and shoot from deep 3. We're talking Steph Curry deep, and swish at the buzzer. I mean, Bramlage erupted.
Yep.
And it was not a pack. It was a lot of people there, but it wasn't packed.
Right.
God, that was my favorite individual moment of the whole season was probably that play. All right, our next award. So I would typically do Best Supporting Actor. I've decided to change it this year. I want to go with Worst Supporting Actor. Your first nominee was yesterday, Mike Gundy, talking about Ollie Gordon's DUI. I don't have the audio. I'll have it for Friday, but if you haven't heard it yet, it was a mess. It was a mess.
Just brutal.
Nominee number 2 for Worst Supporting Actor, Chiefs wide receivers and all the drops.
Yeah.
This past season.
It's a good call.
And then the final
nominee,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You know who? I mean, you could throw a whole bunch of guys in there.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for the Chiefs for a lot of that last season. Sky Moore. And then the final nomination for Worst Supporting Actor was K-State's tackling in the snow game against Iowa State.
That one is in at a minus 500 to win the award.
I was finishing this up last night, and I was like, I had them on my mind for this one, but I was like, let me go back and watch the highlights. Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was pretty awful. Bad. It really was.
Car crash, not tackle.
The game I'm sitting in O'Hare and trying my darndest not to start cussing.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you're torturing yourself watching that game, and then on top of it, you're torturing yourself being at O'Hare.
Exactly. I'm sitting in O'Hare trying my best not to get mad.
All right, 3 more awards. These are the big ones. Best Director, which a.k.a. Best Coach.
Okay.
Now, with the best actor, best actress, best director, these each have 4 nominees. So, nominees for Best Director, again, in no particular order. The nominees for Best Director this year, Best Coach. K-State baseball coach, Pete Hughes. K-State volleyball coach, Jason Mansfield. K-State football coach, Chris Kleiman. And K-State women's basketball coach, Jeff Mitty.
Oh, boy.
Are the 4 coaches. Well, who did I leave out?
No, I think it's just the choice.
Yeah, that's why I made the noise.
I know Coach Tang is not on the list. I just felt, I'm not going to defend myself here. I know that's what you guys are thinking, though.
No, not me.
Not me.
You think I snubbed Coach Tang?
No. No. And I love Coach Tang, but yeah, it's a tough list to get on.
He'll be back in it. He'll be back in it next year. Don't worry about it.
He should have been unanimous pick last year.
All right. 2 more awards. Best Actress in a Leading Role. I think Gabby Gregory won it last year, if I remember correctly. I think Gabby did win it last year. So here, again, no particular order. The nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role, K-State Volleyball's Aaliyah Carter. Great season for Aaliyah. Best Actress in a Leading Role nominee, Serena Sundell. Also from K-State Women's Basketball, Aoka Lee, who was not up last year because she did not play last year. And then the final Actress in a Leading Role nominee from K-State Women's Golf, the first ever All-American in K-State Women's Golf history, Carla Bernat is a nominee for Best Actress in a Leading Role.
Okay.
Was following that run she had at the national event, and or I think it was a national event, and she was really competing. Okay. Now time for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Here are your 4 nominees. From K-State Baseball, first team All-Big 12, Brady Day. K-State Offensive Lineman, Cooper Beebe. From K-State Men's Basketball, Tyler Perry. And finally, anybody have a guess who the last one is?
I've got a guess, but I'm not going to hedge my bet here.
Kalen Culpepper.
From K-State Baseball, Kalen Culpepper.
You said it earlier to me when we were talking in here, so I had a feeling.
Oh, did I? Oh, well, I don't remember that.
I mean, you didn't say he was going to be part of this, but you kind of just gave it as an example, and I had to figure it was in there.
So there are the nominees. I'll get those last 5 awards up on Twitter once this show wraps up. Don't have the time right now. When we come back, there's your nominees. And again, Friday's show, it's going to be mostly Gamey Awards. We got a lot of awards to get out there. Troy, do you want to host this year? Do you want to do the opening monologue?
Okay, I guess I've got some work to do.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't have to do it.
No, probably better hold off with that. People don't want the dad jokes.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I've hosted the last 3 years.
Yeah,
I guess the show will have to do it then.
You think you want to do the opening monologue?
How long does it have to be?
Oh, I don't know. I usually throw 5 or 6 jokes in there.
Oh, boy.
I can send you some examples.
Sure. Let's do that.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
All right. I'll send you some examples.
Okay.
Of what I've done in years past.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this.
Go.
AJ is going to do the opening monologue for the Gamey Awards, 5th annual, coming up on Friday. When we come back, my top 100 TV theme songs, 40 through 36, after these words.
Your home for K-State sports.
K-State will run it. Here's Deuce. Deuce breaks a tackle. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. He's in the house. He's in the house. Touchdown, Cats.
AJ Shaw, Mitch Fortner, Troy Coverdale with you. Guys, I came up with a good question today. If you could choose one song to be your baseball walk-up song, what would it be?
Classic question. And I'm sure it's been asked before, and every time I've given a different answer.
Oh, really?
I'm just such a music guy. Like, I'm a believer, like, nobody truly has a favorite song.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that's just different for you every time. I would probably just ask the DJ, here's 30 songs, hit shuffle. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the Family Matters theme song.
Yeah.
Just give me that intro.
I still love the fact that that Chuck Nasty, Charlie Blackman, still to this day, doing Your Love to the and they cut it off PA cuts it off so they sing it at Coors Field.
Toto's Hold the Line.
That's yours?
Yep.
That's
Toto's
solid pick. Public Enemy, Bring the Noise.
Yeah, it's another great one.
Would be one that I would probably put up there. Toby Keith, How Do You Like Me Now? Also, I'd probably go with Kool Moe Dee's How Do You Like Me Now?
I would also consider Golden Girls theme. You know, every theme I played today could be a walk-up song.
Oh, boy.
That'll wrap it up for today. Hey, we're on for a full 2 hours tomorrow. No Stone Unturned will kick off hour number 2. We'll have in studio for sure. Eric Wolford is back in town, plus Curry Sexton, who's also on the board for No Stone Unturned. Former K-State wide receiver is also in studio tomorrow. For AJ, Troy, I'm Mitch. Go Cats.